Welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. This is your weekly gaming podcast from Co-op 64. And today we are predicting the winners and announcements for the Game Awards. But before we get into that, Nick, how are we feeling?
Feeling good, dude. Happy to be here. This is legitimately my favorite podcast to shoot every single year. This is combining my two favorite things, a good predictions episode with a great predictions episode. And we just end up with the best predictions episode. I'm stoked about the Game Awards. It's been a fun week getting these nominees and starting to dissect the outcomes with some of the audience and stream, and this is what it's all about. Like, the fun of the conversation of the Game Awards is the reason that this thing is so gosh darn special. Getting the buzz beforehand and then everyone getting excited for when their favorites win or lose is what it's all about. I'm very excited about it. Connor, how you doing, man?
Doing good. I got a couple races in on Kirby Air Riders, all of 2 races over my 15-minute break today. That game's gorgeous. Really pretty art design. Not exactly the easiest game to pick up right when you hop in, but I'm getting there. I'm getting the controls down. It is only on one button and then the stick, of course, but there's some weird idiosyncrasies when it comes to this game that it's nothing like Mario Kart, where you just pick it up and it's very intuitive. I think there's a decent skill ceiling here that I'm excited to dig into and get more comfortable playing Kirby Air Riders. So that's probably how I'm going to spend my afternoon after this.
I am so excited to not play this game that much because would it be fun to consume my weekend with Kirby Air Riders? Sure. 100%. But we got the Bengals tomorrow. It's been a very busy time for me when it comes to just the amount of gaming I've been doing recently, beating Yote, which can't wait to shoot that spoiler cast, playing KCD2 in the mornings, Final Fantasy 10 at night. This week was weird where between Monday, the Game Awards nominees, Thursday, the Xbox Presents Partner Showcase, and then Friday, KCD2, I haven't had a lot of work mornings or just time to myself that has been outside of Go See Yote. So I'm taking the weekend to be an actual weekend and hang out with some friends, me and Brady and some others that might be playing some cards tonight. And it's going to be a great time. Very excited to just relax and kick it for the weekend. You want to know what else I'm excited for though, Connor? Housekeeping.
This show is made possible by all our lovely supporters over on Patreon. You can get this show 3 days early. You can get the Casual Gaming News Conversation 3 days early, and you get bonus episodes of the Casual Gaming Conversation each and every week. Like Nick just alluded to, we are shooting the Ghost of Yote spoiler cast, so that will be the next upcoming bonus Casual Gaming Conversation. We just did an episode trying to remember every single nominee for Game of the Year over the last 10 years, 11 years.
11 years.
At the Game Awards. That was a lot of fun. We have more spoiler casts in the backlog, like Donkey Kong Bonanza and Death Stranding 2. So a lot of great content for you over there at that lowest tier.
I believe I said it during the spoiler cast, but if you are wondering what my gripe with Expedition 33 is, there's a spoiler cast that was a Patreon exclusive that's now out for everyone. Just go and listen to the entire podcast. Yeah. I know my gripe might be 2 sentences within that hour and 15-minute podcast, but if you're all in on Expedition 33, that's one of the best pieces of content we've produced this year. Go check it out. It's awesome. That's out there for everyone, but also there's great spoiler casts over on Patreon too.
Then at the next tier up, you have Recollecting Retro, our retro collecting show where we take you to stores, pick out a few games, and go over what we got. We also do full collection breakdowns. We just did an episode on all the consoles that I have in my personal collection, so go check that out at the $10 tier. Then we have the Co-op 64 podcast where we each bring a topic and have a fun little discussion. We shot another one this last weekend, and that will be posting this upcoming weekend. You also get 2 additional bonus TikToks each and every other week, rather. So that's everything at the $10 tier. At the highest tier, you get your name read at the end of each and every podcast, and you have the opportunity to write in to be the 4th topic on the Co-op 64 podcast. Twitch, over on the Twitch side of things, we are continuing on with Cyberpunk 2077 on Mondays. Nick's first playthrough with Brady and I co-piloting. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, Nick is playing Final Fantasy X, getting to the last third of that game. He's loving it. He's having a good time with it.
So good.
And I am playing Batman Arkham Asylum on Wednesdays. Discord, we have a Discord community of over 2,800 community members where we're all talking about games, movies, music, etc., etc. You can squat up there as well and play games together. And we also have community nights where we're playing Battlefield 6 this weekend, tomorrow from when we're shooting this. But if you're watching this on Patreon free feeds. That has already happened, but you can join the Discord for the next month's, which is going to be Halo. We're doing a Halo community night, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be so much fun.
We also post our forums in there for user-submitted lists and write-ins and such. So if you want to stay in tune and be a part of the show, that's a great place to do it over in the Co-op 64 Discord. We have t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs for merch if you want to support the channel that way, and leave us nice reviews over on Apple Podcast services. It gets the show out to more people, and we would really appreciate it. Okay. Like Nick said, we are not doing hot takes or a draft today because we are doubling up. We're on double duty for two major topics. We're doing the what we think is going to win every category at the Game Awards, and then we're also doing our predictions for the announcements for the trailers that we're going to get during the Game Awards. So it's going to be a beefy show. So Nick, you want to guide us through these categories?
Yeah. So the way that I broke it down was Connor hit me up. He's like, "Give me the list. Let me know what I need to go and prepare for." And I said, great. So we're not going to talk esports. We're not going to do some of the things that we just have no idea about. Literally, like if there's I literally asked myself, I was like, can we even remotely talk about this? Do we know what's up with some of these categories? If the answer is no, I don't think that it's important for us to go and have that conversation and vote and do all that stuff. So we're talking about the categories, what we know, what we really have a discussion about, and what we think will win. That leaves us with right now on my Google Doc, I have 5 pages worth of stuff. There's a lot of categories still that we need to get through. So this is not going to be a quick discussion on all of these. Some of them will be though, where it's just going to be yeah, this is kind of obvious. The first one that we have is most anticipated game for next year. I don't think that that's going to be a super long conversation. So we're just going to be going through every single category, having a great time. And then we will kick into the second half of the podcast being what you expect from Co-op 64, a lock, a lengthy, and a long shot for the announcement predictions that are happening. If you're also excited about the predictions aspect for the announcements, this is not the last time we will be discussing predictions when it comes to Co-op 64. There is going to be a betting special over on Patreon with myself, with Connor, with Brady, and special guests Rogan and Jacob will be joining in on the fun for that. They both have shown interest there. So that's the plan as of right now. So if you're like, man, they're already doing announcement predictions, we're just getting started. First category that we have here, though, today, getting into part 1 of the pod. Most anticipated game. Connor, the nominees are 007 First Light, Grand Theft Auto 6, Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem, and The Witcher 4. Real quick. This is not most anticipated game, I guess, for 2026, because The Witcher 4 is not coming out in 2026. What do you... By the way, do we want to put a donut bet on all this? Do we want to...
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Brian, pay attention again like you did last year. Thank you so much for doing that. GTA 6 is my choice.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't even think it's a discussion to be like, could something else knock it over? It is so abundantly obvious.
What do you think is in second?
Probably Requiem.
I think Wolverine.
Oh, Wolverine's actually, yeah. It's going to be an amazing day, January 15th, next year. This is the second time we brought it up on podcast recently, where we do our most anticipated list, and GTA 6 is not in my top 3. I'm stoked to see 007 get a nod here, by the way, because it makes me feel less back crap crazy for being very excited about this game in the way that I am right now. Moving on to the best multiplayer category. This is a very interesting one. We got a stacked list right here. The nominees are Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction. Connor, what do you have winning this one?
I have Arc Raiders winning it. I feel like it's having a moment right now when people are doing their voting. They're going to be thinking about the experience that they've most recently had with this game. Split Fiction, I think, is in second place, but it was earlier in the year. The only reason I think Split Fiction could win this is I think it was a potential Game of the Year nominee. I think it barely got inched out by KCD2, and they might want to show it some love here. And I think this is a category that it could win. So I could see it going to Split Fiction, but I think it's going to go to Arc Raiders.
I have Split Fiction winning this category. You can't beat that team of Red Haze Light in a category that doesn't have another Game of the Year nominee. Like this is the one. This is the only time I think I have Split Fiction winning something, and it's the place that it deserves to win. This is what is a multiplayer game. I personally think that Split Fiction is the best couch co-op game ever. Sure, we can talk about Halo and we can talk about Portal, but like those are different types of conversations, in my opinion, compared to what this team is trying to do. Of like, this game is all about, the only thing it's doing is you and a buddy on the couch having some fun. So Split Fiction is my poll. Our creators in second, because it's a major conversation point right now, like you said. Moving on, best sports and racing game. We have EA Sports FC 26, which, by the way, that's a mouthful. They need to trim that up. They need to drop the in the Facebook conversation.
Yeah, would you just cut EA Sports? Just call it FC 26.
Because then next up is F125. Come on. Then there's Mario Kart World Rematch and Sonic Crossworlds Racing. Sonic Racing Crossworlds, rather. Connor, what you got?
I think this is kind of a toss-up, but I have Mario Kart World here. I feel like people really love Sonic Racing Crossworlds, though, and Rematch definitely had a moment. So I'm going to go with World, but I would not be shocked if it's one of those other two.
It's Mario Kart World, and I think it's not close. I think that the Nintendo bump is real in this situation. I think that the amount of people, like there's going to be people that vote on this because they have played Mario Kart World, and they play Mario Kart and they play Sonic, and they're like, yeah, Mario Kart's the better game. Also,
I don't know about that.
Mario Kart deserves to win a game of the year. It should. Connor, the fact that it's not here for a soundtrack. By the way, we can actually like talk about some of these now that we have the list in front of us. The fact that it's not here for soundtrack is ridiculous. And so, like,
I think,
give it the nod.
People who've played both World and Sonic Racing Crossworlds, I think people prefer Sonic.
Interesting.
That's what I've heard online.
I think that a lot of people, it was a lower than expectation Mario Kart game and a higher than expectation Sonic Racing game.
Yeah.
But I think that it's still a better Mario Kart than Sonic in this conversation.
Do you think the two racing games split the vote and then that allows Rematch to win?
Rematch is not winning this. Rematch does as much fun as we had a Rematch. And shout out for getting the nominee.
Rematch rules, dude.
Really fun video game. Do I think it's a good video game? Not really. Like, there's so many issues that I have. Like, there's nothing worse than when I started playing that game and I get a ball in a corner and like you can see from like outside the arena, like it's like clipping in that way, and I'm like, okay, there's certain polish things that need to be improved. There's certain atmosphere things that need to be improved. There's certain gameplay things that I don't like adore. But we had a blast playing it.
My gameplay issue is that instead of like just kind of shooting at the net and being able to score like you normally would in a soccer game, the main strategy is shoot above the net, let it bounce off the wall and come back at you and then line up the shot. It's like, I don't know if I like that being like the core strategy of this game,
which we learned maybe a little bit too late, but then when we learned it was a blast. Moving on to best sim and strategy game, we have The Alters, Final Fantasy Tactics, The Evilise Chronicles, Jurassic World 3 Evolution, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Tempest Rising, and 2 Point Museum. Connor, what do you got for this one?
This has 6 nominees.
Yeah, there's certain ones this year that have 6 nominees that normally didn't. So, because also, if you look at the category ahead of it, Best Family Game has 6 nominees now. So it's a odd year. Yeah, I realized that when
I
they
wonder
were
if there
going
was
through.
ties.
Maybe I think that they were just going through the nominees and certain areas it was close enough that maybe they were like, let's add another area to it. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun one for us to predict next year too, being like which categories had 6 on the year prior.
I'm gonna give this one to The Alters. What do you have?
The Alters.
Yeah.
It had a moment.
I think a lot of people consider this to be one of the most underrated games of the year. If you've played The Alters, I feel like you fucking love The Alters, and giving it some shine in this category I think is going to be important for a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm looking up currently the Metacritic for The Alters because I believe I was right. It was at an 85 on Metacritic, which is like an extremely strong score for a AA game like this. That's another thing that people have been bringing up. The person that voiced the main character also voices like 13 versions of himself. Them not getting nominated for the game of the year or the best actor of the year and everything is a little bit wild when you consider the amount of work that went in there. I'm not tossing too much shade, but compared to somebody that apparently put 4 hours of work in and has not played the game yet, getting up there. But yeah, no, I think that there is certain points that the Alters will get on a night like this, and this is the only spot it could. So I think that it lands getting that W. Moving along, we have the best family game. There is Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers. Shout out to Team Lego for what they're doing over there. I don't know. Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, and Split Fiction. Connor, what you got?
I have Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I fear that this might be the only category that this game wins.
I have Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I think that this is the only category it wins in.
Yeah.
It's a fight between Split Fiction and Donkey Kong Kong got nominated for Game of the Year. So, like, I think there's a lot like that fight already happened, right? For media when they were sending in nominees. I think right now though that this checks out for what they're doing. Donkey Kong getting its first and only win of the night, I think, for sure. Moving on to best fighting game, we have one of the craziest categories I've ever seen. We'll hop into it in a moment. We have 2XKO, a game that's not fully released, by the way.
Yeah.
We have Marvel or Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Apparently was not well received. We have Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. We have Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Also, like, not that well received from the fighting game community. And we have Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage, which is like another rendition of a game that's come out multiple other times. I chose Fatal Fury City of the Wolves because it's the only actual full game that could get nominated.
I chose Capcom Fighting Collection 2. I did not know it was not well received. I don't fucking know with this category, dude. I am not tuned into the fighting game community at all.
It might be 2XKO too, just because it's probably the best game that's on this list, but also once again,
it's not out.
It's not out. Like this is one of those weird things where it's like there are. Well, what do you want to do here? What do you want to give the shine to? And at the end of the day, I think that they should be going and have this almost be a separate panel. And have it just be the people that are super in tune with the fighting game community. Because they're the people that actually give a shit about this. Like, we shouldn't have, and I know that this is the case. You don't need to vote on every single nominee and stuff like that. But, like, my understanding is Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is liked by me, like games journalists, but not loved by the fighting game community. Same with Marvel's Fighting Collection too. So, yeah, I just don't know with this one where it's like, I understand that these... And Virtua Fighter 5 Revo is a wild. That's like scraping the bottom of the barrel. Is it a great game? Yeah. Does it make sense in the category like this? Hell no. So I'm gonna give the nod to Fatal Fury because like that's a good game that came out this year. Like,
it just feels like it came and went though. And like,
but these other four,
the Capcom collection and Mortal Kombat, like it's just playing off of nostalgia as well. And if you're not like super tuned into fighting games, but have the history of playing whatever is in that collection or whatever, you might just go for that because you recognize it.
Yeah, I know. MK Collection, I think, has a chance too with the way that games media has somewhat enjoyed it, and like the reviews were relatively good. But
there's a collection of like really well beloved
old fighting
Mortal Kombat games.
Yeah, and there's like... also like a great documentary type stuff that's in there too, and moving on. This is the beginning of the end. Best RPG. We have Avowed, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, The Outer Worlds 2, and Monster Hunter Wilds. I want to start here. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want to see if you're in a similar wave. I don't think the Game Awards is playing the game. They normally don't, right?
They never do.
They never do. They don't say, oh, I'm going to give it to this one because down the line I'm going to give it to this one. It just ends up being the right one. The one that is the best normally ends up winning. With that in mind, I chose Avowed for this.
I was going to make the same joke. That's so funny.
No, it's Clair Expedition 33 Obscure.
Clair Obscure Expedition 33
Clair Obscure.
As well.
Yeah. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 could win it. Like, there's a chance.
If they play the game a little bit.
Yeah.
And, like, they want to give that game some flowers.
Which I hope they do.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this while we were eating pizza. It sucks that Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is nominated in as many categories as it is. Because it's going to win a lot of them.
It's going to win all of them.
And so the second that you're being these other games are not going to be getting the shine that they should, as somebody that has played now 4 hours of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I have no interest. I want Expedition 33 to win this category, right? Yeah. Like that is way more on my alley. Shout out to Monster Hunter Wilds, still one of my favorite gaming memories from the series. You, me, Matt, Brady, working through that, having a blast. But like, it's just going to be Clair Obscur, and also I think in this category, it deserves it. I just wish it wasn't in the indie categories that we're going to be hopping into here down the line. Moving on, this is another big boy. We have the best action adventure game. Grab your ass, dude. Like, this is an intense category. This feels like, oh, these games could just be the Game of the Year nominees. We have Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Split Fiction. Connor, where are you going?
I gave this one to Hollow Knight Silksong, but like you said, it's a bloodbath. I could see really any of these winning.
I'm also going with Hollow Knight Silksong. Death Stranding 2 is the other one that has a chance.
Why would Split Fiction not have a chance?
Because it didn't get nominated for Game of the Year. Like, I really think
That's
that.
fair.
Like, if something is nominated for Game of the Year, it is the immediate front runner in these types of categories where it's just, we're talking just games. We're not talking about sound quality or game direction or stuff like that. We're just talking about what's the best game in this subgenre. If it got nominated for the Game of the Year, it's probably got a better shot.
You can apply that to the next one too.
Yep, best action game. We have Battlefield 6, Doom the Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Connor, what you got?
I have Hades 2, and this is potentially the only award it's going to win.
I also have Hades 2. Please, God, don't let it be the only award it wins. Would be so sad. Next up, we have Best Debut Indie. This is a odd category because it only has 4 nominees now. Megabonk has gone and taken themselves out of the running with the news that they are kind of not a first-time indie dev, but also they're under a new name, so it's a weird thing. But also, like, somebody brought this up. They were like, if you have a new band, like if you make a new band and then go for and release a record, you're eligible for debut record or new artist, right, on that year. So I don't know, it's a weird thing there. But the nominees for these 4 that are still in the game are Blueprints, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Despelote, Dispatch. Connor, what are you going with?
Because it's nominated, it's gonna win. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33.
This is where I lie to myself. This is where I say, I know it's probably gonna win. I'm gonna say Blueprints wins. And I know that this is probably not the way to do this, and it never is. I'm really hoping that they look at this category. And when you think about debut indie, you think about a team coming together for the first time, you think about the bootstrap nature of it. I think the Claire Obscure Expedition 33 potentially should not be nominated for Best Indie Game in general. I've talked about this on stream with Baldur's Gate 3 not getting nominated. I feel like that they're in the same category of game. If not, Baldur's Gate 3 is more independent.
Yeah.
So we're just like
Alan Wake 2.
Alan Wake 2.
Remedy is an independent studio.
What are we doing? And then you go and you look at the nomination sheet, and it has developers and publishers on it, and you see Kepler / Sandfall. I just don't define it that way. It would not be on my board. I really hope that there are certain people in the industry that are similar enough to Shadow the Earth Tree in some categories last year that say it's off my board in these categories. That's my hope. I don't think that that's going to happen. But I'm going to go with this one and put my heart and soul into it. And maybe I won on the fighting game category, right? Maybe I got my point there above you. So I'll drop that point now by saying Blueprints and saying that Claire Obscure is not going to win every single gosh darn category. Moving on to Best Independent Game. We have Absalom, Ball Pit, Blueprint, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong. Before I get your prediction, this should be the second last category of the night. They should, like, straight up, because this is the Game of the Year conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, it doesn't go to one in the, because the game doesn't happen. So, Connor, what you got?
I'm actually going to pivot to Hollow Knight Silksong here. When it comes to being an indie game and the spirit of being an indie, 3-person team, $20 price tag, long awaited and delivered the goods. That's Hollow Knight Silksong, and I think it deserves it here because Expedition 33 is going to get a lot of love across the board. I'm going to play the game a little bit here with just this category.
So did you have Claire Obscure initially?
Yeah.
I'm also going to pivot then. I'm choosing Hades 2.
All right.
Because, yeah, if I'm going to go with the spirit of what this award should be, if this is the best independent game, it deserves to go to Hades 2. Mm-hmm. Hades 2, it's so much. I love the fact that people are coming around on Hades 2. Everyone that plays it, it's a 10. It's so clearly a 10 that, like, it's insane. And when I want to have this conversation now, so I don't have to when we get to Game of the Year. I have played many turn-based games at this point, and I've played many party action games, and I've played many games with great music design, and I've played many games like Claire Obscure Expedition 33 in the different categories you could put that game into. And it is not the best in any of those categories. I will never play a roguelike that is better than Hades 2. I'm convinced about that. I'm 100% convinced that I will never play a game in this genre that exceeds the masterpiece that is Hades 2. So I hope that the jury gets on board with that and has that understanding and gives it to Hades 2. I would prefer it to go to Silksong than Expedition 33 for this category. Right. I'd prefer it to go to Hades 2 or Blueprints before Expedition 33 in this category. Not to say that I don't think it deserves to win Game of the Year or anything like that. I think it completely does in basically any other category. But for indie game, it should go, in my opinion, to Hades 2, if not Hollow Knight or Blueprints, or like Absalom apparently rips. Like that's a game I might want to get through my backlog by the end of this year. And then Blueprints is apparently just excellent. So moving on, we got to take a deep breath from the Claire Obscure Expedition 33 Fest. Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky.
It's a weird one. This used to be the Final Fantasy 14 category, this and ongoing game, but I feel like with Dawn Trail a couple of years ago, that wasn't super well received, and it's kind of just puttered along since then. Still really popular, but like not in the forefront of the MMO space as it used to be. I'm gonna go with Baldur's Gate 3 here. Just it won last year, I think
so. Yeah,
and it's kind of just trucked along as well, and people still love Baldur's Gate, so I'm gonna go with that.
I'm gonna choose the Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
It feels like, when there are the esports categories, it always ends up going to league type stuff.
Right.
That's Final Fantasy 14 in this category. It just is the Michael Jordan of the best community support when it comes to this.
I wonder when we get the next expansion for that game. It's
Could get announced
a couple years. Right?
That's my lock. Why are you spoiling this podcast? Okay. No, I think probably the next couple years, right?
Yeah.
Moving on to best ongoing game. Oh, look at these familiar faces. We have Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and No Man's Sky. I went with Fortnite. With the expansion that they just did with The Simpsons, I think is in the front of mind of a lot of people. They've just had a great year across the board, as they always do. I'm choosing Fortnite for best ongoing game.
I went with Helldivers 2. That major expansion, was that this year?
I think so, yeah.
And then it also came to Xbox as well and kind of had a little bit of a resurgence because of that. I think it goes to Helldivers 2.
I initially had Helldivers 2 for this category, but I wanted to pivot before. That's why I jumped in first for that one. I was like,
it also won last year, I think.
Yeah, that checks. No, I think it won community support last year.
Yes, because
it came out last year. But also, weird thing with this category, Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is eligible for Game of the Year this year because it came out December 6th, I want to say, last year. So I don't consider it an ongoing game. It shouldn't be an ongoing game because it's not ongoing. Ongoing is past the expiration date of this year. This sense. Is where the games with updates get awarded, not elsewhere. We only got 7 or 8 categories left, 6 or 7 categories left. Best performance. I just have the actors and actresses names here, but I don't off the top of my mind have the what they performed as. Ben Starr, Charlie Cox, Jennifer English for Expedition 33 for all those, Erika Ishii for Ghost of Yote, Kanatsu Kato for Silent Hill F, and then Troy Baker for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Connor, who's taking it?
I went with Ben Starr, but I don't feel great about it. I could very easily see this going to Jennifer English, and I think she probably deserves it. But Ben Starr has been a mainstay for the last few years when it comes to this category. I think he should have won it for Clive, and I think that this is his chance to get that award. But I would not be shocked to see Jennifer English up there for my L.
It's Jennifer English. And I think that the structure of Expedition 33 means that it's Jennifer English.
It definitely helps.
It does. Erika Ishii, I don't want to. I want to leave as much meat on the bone as possible for the spoiler cast. Great performance. I've turned the corner since even Monday. Do they deserve this nomination? They deserve this nomination. I think that they really did bring it with that performance. Do not sleep on the Baconator.
No shot.
I know it's no shot. Connor.
If it was Higgs, I would say he has a chance.
I know, but also when I think about the best performance this year, best performances in gaming, his Indiana Jones is ridiculous. It is so well performed. He is so freaking good in that role. If I remembered that he could get nominated for this, I would have probably said that he should. I wouldn't have predicted it, but it should have. It would have been in our conversation a lot more compared to what it was. Still, the fact that there's no Death Stranding 2 nom here, ridiculous. Also, Charlie Cox, get out of here. This, in my opinion, this does not belong at all. I
should have been Andy Serkis.
It should have been Andy Serkis, or it should have been Higgs, or it should have been the performer for Nirvana, in Death Stranding 2, or Sam,
or Fragile.
Yeah, Elle Fanning could definitely be here too.
Yeah.
Fragile's so good, dude. And There's so many characters from Death Stranding 2, and I understand that you probably split the vote, but it didn't split the vote enough where you got 3 nominees for Expedition 33. Also, yeah, Renoir, way better performance from Andy Serkis than Charlie Cox. After that, I really like. Oh, by the way, Charlie Cox is probably my number 10 this year performance, but it's just not in this top 6 for me. Best audio design. We have Battlefield 6, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Silent Hill F.
I'm giving this one to Silent Hill F. I think horror games kind of really rely on their audio design to raise the tension. So I think this is a good category for Silent Hill F to win. I could see it going to Clair Obscur Expedition 33 because of the audio cues that go along with attacks, and it's like a big part of the gameplay. So I think that sticks in people's minds. So I would not be shocked to see Clair Obscur win it.
It's Clair Obscur for that exact reason. The on the counterattacks and everything, it's so freaking good. Yeah, somebody mentioned this. You're going to be pretty good at that game if you close your eyes. It's legitimately facts. I don't think that you can get through some of those late game bosses without doing so to some level. You really need to disassociate with the visual cues because they're trying to catch you off guard. You got to listen to the game. Yeah, I think it's Clair Obscur. I think that Clair Obscur is nominated for 12 categories or 12 nominees total. It's gonna win 6 to 8 of the categories.
I think it wins 10.
That would mean it wins every category that's in, because there's 3 nominations in one category.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
So I maybe wins. I would say my number is 7. I think that it wins 7.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if it can beat The Last of Us record, which I believe that is the game with the record.
Last of Us
Part 2. Sorry. Yeah. So that's gonna be for me. I'm a firm believer that yeah, that could totally make sense. It could totally come down with that win. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting for sure. Moving on, taking another breath from the Clair Obscur Expedition 33 Awards, we have the best adaptation: a Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, The Last of Us Season 2, Splinter Cell, Death Watch, Until Dawn. Connor, what you got?
I don't know. The Last of Us Season 2, maybe? This is a really terrible category. Not a lot of quality here. I think The Last of Us Season 2 is a major step down from the first one, but it's notable, and I feel like most people watch that one, whereas I think a lot of these other ones, if you're voting on this, you probably didn't catch the Minecraft movie or Until Dawn being terrible. You probably skipped that one. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm going to go with The Last of Us Season 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go with The Last of Us Season 2, but Connor, if I'm going with my heart, can we get some Lava Chicken going?
Yeah.
Can we get Jack Black?
I would not be shocked if the Minecraft movie wins it.
I would be stoked. There would be some crisp.
Stoked.
Because I don't think The Last of Us Season 2 deserves it. I think the Minecraft movie is
better than The Last of Us Season 2.
The Last of Us Season 2 is a well-acted show that just goes and legitimately worsens the product of The Last of Us. The Minecraft movie is ridiculous, but it's so much fun. I remember having a root beer and some Mike and Ike's and a big old thing of popcorn on my couch Friday from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then we shot the Spoilercast immediately after, having a ball. I enjoyed that. I finished watching The Last of Us and I was upset. So which one would I rather go and get some flowers? The thing that I had fun with, the thing that I'm legitimately at the end of this year going to be yeah, I had a great time doing that compared to The Last of Us, which left a sour taste in my mouth. Moving on to best score in music. It doesn't stop. Connor, it doesn't stop. The nominees are Hollow Knight Silksong, Hades 2, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Ghost of Yote, Death Stranding 2. Before we both say Clair Obscur, Expedition 33 will win this, Death Stranding 2
should win.
I've come around to this because I was so in on Hades 2 with the music, but Death Stranding 2 is the music game. It is, that game is only as good as its music. Period, bar none. It does not get to be the amazing experience that it is without some of the best music this year. Also, Minus 61, the first track that plays in that game with the wide shot and that whole scene is better than any music cue this year, including Renoir's track. I've come around to that. Those two have been fighting for my number one spot for a minute, and I'm like, why am I getting emotional walking? I'm like, oh yeah, that's just what this game fucking does. And how does it do it? The music. Like the stakes of the battles in Clair Obscur are raised when you have this bumping soundtrack. And I love Lumiere, and I love Alicia's theme, and I love Red War. Like, so many great songs. But what Woodkid and the team were able to do over there was like so special. Also, where's Mario Kart World?
Yeah.
Where's South of Midnight?
This is totally a preference thing. Music is incredibly subjective. I think that Clair Obscur Expedition 33's soundtrack is great, but I would take Death Stranding 2 soundtrack over it. I would take Ghost of Yote soundtrack over it, and I would take Hollow Knight Silksong soundtrack over it. I know that's like a really big hot take. It did not stick with me as much as it seems to have stuck with everybody else when it comes to the soundtrack to Clair Obscur, but I think it is going to win this category, and
Same.
I think it is pretty well deserved.
Yeah. This is legitimately, like, that's the hard part with the discussion that you and I have compared to what the consensus is like, I have it winning certain categories, and it should win certain categories. But I don't think that it should win this one. And so it feels, but we still have to predict that it's going to, you know? Moving on. Best narrative. We have Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Silent Hill F. I'm not going to talk anything about Yote's narrative because I want to save all that for tomorrow's discussion. I'm just going to say Clair Obscur is going to win this one, and we can sort of move on.
It probably should too. Like, I don't think this is a great year for video game narratives. Like, I think Death Stranding 2 is a bit of a step down from the first one. I think Ghost of Yote is a little bit paint by the numbers, just a good revenge tale. I don't know anything about KCD2. Silent Hill F's story, I think, is honestly like the second best on here, probably. Yeah. That was the highlight of that game for me. So I would like to see it go to Silent Hill F, but not shocked that it is almost definitely going to go to Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
This is one where Death Stranding 2, I'm also not like banging the drum for. Dispatch, if it was able to get nominated, I think that I might have it because it's just such a narrative-based game. Like, it's that game's narrative, and that's sort of it. But yeah, this is Clair Obscur for sure. All right. Final three categories. We have, for Best Art Direction, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong. Real quick, stacked, freaking stacked category when it comes to art direction. Connor, what you got?
I have Death Stranding 2 on the Beach.
I also have Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
I think this is the only area that you could point to Clair Obscur having some weakness in comparison to other games. Like, I think narrative, like, it kind of runs away with it, but like art direction, like, I wasn't necessarily blown away by the art direction. I think a lot of people, when they say reasons that they love Clair Obscur, they talk about the gameplay, they talk about the characters, they talk about the story. I don't feel like a lot of people are going to art direction, at least not for their top few reasons as to why they love that game. So it gives the opportunity for something like Death Stranding 2 to win. Would not be shocked if Clair Obscur wins it anyways. Though, like, I think Ghost of Yote's art direction is fantastic, but it's a little bit more of the same of what we saw in Tsushima, so that kind of hurts it. Silksong, I think, has some gorgeous environments, and I love the art style in that game. You love the look of Hades 2, and just going off of the look of Hades 1, like, I think the art style in that game is fantastic. Definitely the highlight for me and the Hades franchise. But with all that being said, I'm going to give it to Death Stranding 2. There's some incredible scenery in this game, man. Like, just absolutely jaw-dropping shit. And it's really creative and really weird at times as well. You can say similar things to Expedition 33 with just kind of like how balls to the wall it goes with its different environments and how diverse they all are. So I think it's a two-man race between those two. I think it's going to probably go to Clair Obscur, but I'm pulling for Death Stranding 2.
I'm happy that we're evening each other out on this one, you know? It's probably the fourth best art direction on this board, in my opinion. The last one being Ghost. And I think Ghost is still terrific when it comes to art direction. But Silksong, in the first minute of that game, you're blown away by art direction. Hades 2 is just every single character design, every single piece, every single environment. I don't want to spoil some of the things in that game that happen, but like some of the decisions when it comes to the direction that you make, also just like everyone's stunning. Everyone's so hot in that game. Golly, son. But yeah, I love the direction in that. It's
the only category that I could see Clair Obscur bleeding. You know what I mean? And if it wins this category, I'm like, it's going to win every fucking category, dude.
And then Death Stranding 2, the thing that I want to point to is something in the trailers, but I want to just like go from that and then make it broader. The fireworks scene, the first scene where you see Neo
Oh
Vana,
my God.
like are you? And then the way that progresses during the game,
Yeah.
it is. The art direction, it is legitimate.
Go
like,
watch that first trailer and just get sold on just the art direction.
Just
It's
art direction.
fantastic.
The first trailer, you walk by the moon, and that
Yeah.
thing, oh my goodness, it's unbelievable how good. Like, I want to bring up with the Clear Expedition 33, one of the Axion fights, the one that's a dancer, and it's like, so beautiful and so well, like that is art direction. That is great stuff there, and the way that you
the enemy
interact.
design in the game across the board
Brilliant.
is fantastic.
And then the different outfits in the game too, like and just some of the way that these characters are able to go and be awesome. Like Verso looks dope. Like you can start there when it comes to art direction. But yeah, for me, Death Stranding 2, Hades 2, and Silksong, I think are all a step ahead. And I hope that the consensus is not just like, oh, it's the artsy game. I mean, Clair Obscur is an art term, right? So like, let's give art direction. It's like, take the deep breath and vote for what's right, please. Like this is what it shouldn't win. It's gonna win so many categories. Best game direction, we have Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, Split Fiction. Real quick, odd that Silksong is not here. It feels like,
Yeah,
but
that is weird.
I'm gonna hop in with mine first, Connor. I think that's telling something. Why is Split Fiction here and not Silksong? It's because directors matter. Names matter in this category. I do actually firmly believe that. In the same way that Baldur's Gate 3 didn't win game direction, I believe, right? I think it went to Alan Wake 2. I'm going to go with Death Stranding 2 on the Beach.
Okay, I'm going to pivot then for the reason you just said. I'm going to also go with Death Stranding. I was between that and Clair Obscur. Once again, would not be shocked if Clair Obscur wins it, but it's Kojima. A name, a face in the game industry. Death Stranding 2 also just has fantastic game direction as well, and is a very Kojima-esque game.
That game, in my opinion, it's all art design, all game direction, and terrific score. But like the game direction of what you're doing in that game, and the way that they've evolved the combat, and the way that they evolved the environments, and the way that like the side missions are ridiculous. They're so beautiful. Like, this game is just beauty and art and amazing, and I'm fine if Clair Obscur wins it. Hades 2, when it comes to game direction, is ridiculous.
I thought you were going to say Split Fiction.
That they make. Split Fiction is... That last level, I legitimately believe Joseph Ferris went to the team and they said, "Is this possible?" And they said, "Fuck no." And they said, "I'm going to make it possible." I don't
think it's that impressive, dude.
Connor, it's never
impressive.
been done. And guess what? I never thought it could be done, and then they do it. And I legitimately, I remember I wasn't hungover, but I was more exhausted than I've ever been in my life. It felt like playing that last level with Brady because we did 3 straight days of game sessions together. Dude, it is so impressive, and I keep on bringing it up because it's brilliant. In my opinion, once again, this is where like I think Clair Obscur is my 4th one on the board, like for game direction. If I was putting a ballot in, like I think it would be most likely I would submit for Hades 2. With just some of the decisions that are made. Game direction, for me, I look at as combat design and the way that you can evolve that in the roguelike nature. I will never play a better roguelike than Hades 2. And so if that is the case, that's game direction. Like defining the genre. They did it. It's over. Game's over. So I would point to that as brilliant game direction, then something like Death Stranding 2, and then something like Split Fiction, and then Clair Obscur. Dude, I think that Clair Obscur is a better game than Split Fiction. Yeah. So like we can go from there, but yeah, Death Stranding 2, that freaking fireworks scene. I just keep on going back to being like, it's so well directed, and I know what's gonna happen. The Game Awards loves Kojima. He deserves it. Like that game's so well directed, and also he's the greatest to ever do it. I don't think he has one yet.
They somehow made walking incredibly fun and then built on top of it to get more people into this really weird premise, to add more gameplay to it, add more stealth elements, just make it a little bit more fun for those who need that extra action element there. So I think it's an impressive game direction type game. So
and then also I want to bring it up again, but like game direction, like the way certain things are shot and produced, that moment where you get to press R3 and go wide in that first shot, -61, it's like, I can see Kojima being like, how can we do this and add the scale that we need to this scene to show the adventure you're about to go on as Sam Porter Bridges? And you're like, that's direction, baby. That's awesome. So I think that's deserved too. If that, by the way, anytime that we didn't say Claire Obscure, it feels wrong. Like I feel like we're
probably wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Game of the year. Nominees are Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Hades 2, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Hollow Knight Silksong, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Are we going into TikTok mode? Are we breaking into what? We're going to break this one out?
You can kick us off.
Sure. These are my predictions for Game of the Year. What's going to win at the Game Awards from least likely to most likely. Coming in at that number 6 spot, I think this one is just happy to be at the dance. I think that everyone is stoked that it is getting up there with these other nominees. And by my understanding of what this game is at this point of being this awesome RPG, great. Stoked for all the fans. KCD2 is my least likely to win, though. I don't think enough media played it. Just period, bar none. I think that sort of minimizes its effect that it can have on the Game of the Year discussion. At number 5, I have Donkey Kong Bonanza, a brilliant platformer that as time has gone on from July when this came out, I think people are just slightly souring on it and not giving it the 10s that it initially got. Like, they're not talking about this all the time as it's a 10, it's a 10, it's a 10. I think that most people are like, yeah, it's just a brilliant platformer, but it's not as special as the 4 games that are above it. Number 4, I'm going with Hollow Knight Silksong. I think that this game just sadly doesn't beat out the other 3. Like, the other 3 I can give points of like why this has a shot to win it, and I just don't even think that it's the best indie on the board. I don't think that it's the most well-designed indie on the board. Like, art direction, game direction, I think that the other 3 do it better. That if I'm voting for it, I can't give it the nod, even though it's just an excellent game across the board from all those different categories that you are considering when you're talking about a Game of the Year. My number 3 is Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. Unironically, games media just likes Kojima because Kojima makes unbelievable games. Death Stranding 2, when it first came out, was the thing that people pointed to as the thing that's going to be able to take out Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It's the only thing that had a chance at the time when it released, it felt like. The game's unbelievable. From art direction, from gameplay, the emotions I felt in this were very similar to Death Stranding 1 of the amount of therapeutic nature that the game has through its gameplay, but also just some of the most ridiculous hype moments I've ever had in any video game ever. Love Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, and I think that it comes in around that number 3. Number 2 most likely game to win it, the runner-up of what this year is going to be, is the highest game on Metacritic this year, 95 for Hades 2. I just don't think that it's that number 1 spot. Hades 2, I think, should probably win this whole thing. It's not going to. It is the best roguelike I will ever play. It's the best roguelike I've ever played. The genre can never get better than what Hades 2 does, in my opinion, from just across the board. The action, the dungeon rooms, the enemy design, the character design, the characters, the boss music, the boss fights. The amount of content that's in this game is ridiculous. And if you know, like, it is mind-blowing. I've played this game for over 50 hours. I've not encountered a single reused line. It's ridiculous. Hades 2 is brilliant. And then at the number 1 spot, the game that's going to win the Game of the Year is Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Well deserved. When I played this back in March for review, or April, March, anyways, it was amazing. I really was deeply emotionally affected by this game. Shout out to Ben Starr and Jennifer English and Andy Serkis for shouldering this game's emotional story that really puts it over the edge, alongside having some of the best combat I've played in a turn-based game ever. I love Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I think it's going to win the Game of the Year, and when it does, I will be very happy to give it the standing ovation that it deserves.
Right on. These are my predictions for what is going to win Game of the Year. We're going to go least likely to most likely here. I think the least likely game to win Game of the Year of the 6 nominated is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I think this game is just happy to be here. It was a 4-man race for this last slot between Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Split Fiction, Blueprints, and
Ghost of Yote.
So KCD2 getting up there in that 6th spot, I think, is well-deserved based off of my understanding of this game, and I think most KCD KCD2 fans are just happy to see it there. And shout out to Warhorse who for making a fantastic game that is nominated for Game of the Year. At my number 5 spot, I have Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. I think this is just a niche game, honestly. Like, even though it got more people in by making those improvements and adding a little bit more action to the gameplay, I think it's still a tough game to get into for a lot of people. So I don't know if a ton of people are going to be going to bat for Death Stranding 2. And I think it has a little bit worse of a story than the first one. So I think that could affect its chances for sure. At number 4, I have Donkey Kong Bonanza. The Nintendo bump here is definitely playing a part. I think this is an excellent 3D platformer, and the people who really love this game really fucking love this game, and it's a lot of people's game of the year if you're a big Nintendo fan, but I don't think that everybody is a huge Nintendo fan, and there's other games this year that they might have prioritized over Donkey Kong Bonanza, so that's why it's going into that 4th spot. At number 3, we have Hades 2, 95 on Metacritic. Need I say more? I think that is the biggest factor for getting it this high on the board. I think the only thing holding it back is that it was in early access before its release, so it just didn't have this like major moment of coming out and really taking over like the last 2 games did. On my board, I have Hollow Knight Silksong at number 2. A game that took over the conversation, long time coming, finally comes out and improves on the original Hollow Knight in just about every single way. Small team, 3-person team, $20 to get in to play this game. I think for that price point in this package, it's an incredibly impressive feat. For it to deliver on the hype, I think is absolutely amazing. So Hollow Knight Silksong at number 2, and you probably saw this one coming. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is the most likely game to win Game of the Year. I would say this has a 99% chance of winning it. It has just remained in the zeitgeist since release. It's many people's favorite game of all time. It's one of the highest reviewed games on like Backlogged for user reviews. Same with Metacritic as well for user reviews. This game is insanely popular, and then it also has a lot going for it outside of just being a fantastic game. $50 price point, small team, got so many people into turn-based combat that thought they would never be into turn-based combat. So there's a lot going for it outside of just being a fantastic game, and I think it is well deserving of that Game of the Year win.
Nice. Yeah, dude. This is... I don't want people to think that like we're not going to be stoked when this thing actually wins it.
Yeah.
Because I think about this year and just the amount of amazing memories that I've been able to procure. It's been an unbelievable year when it comes to the video game aspect, and I think about late nights of playing Death Stranding 2 and staying up till 4 a.m. 4 nights in a row playing Hades 2. But like reviewing Expedition 33 was like unbelievable and so much fun, and really diving deep on that game. And like Ben Starr's performance as Verso, I think is like, I really do hope that he wins it. I don't think that he will. I think that Jen honestly kind of deserves it. But what Ben is for games voice acting and the way that he stood on business when he won the Golden Joystick Award that he just did for supporting actor in Clair Obscur, and like his performance as Clive is just so freaking good. Let's right that wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like let's get this man his goatee. So yeah, I adore this game, and I'm stoked for the Game Awards. I can't wait. I just hope that it's not a boring award show when it comes to the awards. I want there to be a lot of dev teams to get a lot of shine that night. That would be my number one hope at this point. But also Hades 2. Let's get it that award. Moving into the second half of this podcast, we are coming with our lock, our lengthy, and our long shot. These are our game award predictions for the announcements. So the lock is that locked and loaded, guaranteed 100% down the barrel. It's happening at the Game Awards prediction. The lengthy prediction is a prediction with a lot of caveats. It is a, hey, this is going to happen. This is when it's going to happen. All those extra details that we want to toss into a prediction that sometimes, you know, on normal predictions, you want to hold your tongue a little bit. Nah. Let's go all in with 5 different aspects of a prediction, right? And the long shot is I will flip the fucking table if this prediction happens. I will lose my goddamn mind. And it will be a great time if that prediction comes together. Before we hop into it, I don't have my like long list. We're not going to do that at the end of this podcast of games. I'm going to save that for a stream. I think like where I'm hoping to beat. I'm hoping to beat Final Fantasy X before the week before we do Hollow Knight leading into the Game Awards. That's my, and then like make that last stream a long stream and do that. Everything's on the table in your mind. Is that where you're at right now, or because that's where I'm at, where anything can happen at this year's Game Awards, or do you think that that Keighley doesn't have the sauce this year?
I mean, I think there's stuff that's off the board just because of like dev cycles and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. We're not going to get the next Insomniac game. Like we're not going to get Spider-Man 3 here, but like I think that like the makings of what are happening is there is compared to last year. There's not more on the table than there was last year, but I think that there's a close amount when it comes to the cyclical nature of Game Awards and game announcements. So yeah, I'm at like a 9 out of 10 hype level right now. I'm feeling really good. Connor, what's your lock?
My lock is boring, I will admit. My lock is that the God of War Metroidvania game is finally revealed. Rumors have been swirling for a long time now. We've thought it would show up at many state of plays, and we haven't seen it yet. Now is the time.
I love it. This is such a Sony predict. Like, yeah. Because Sony's going to want to be part of it, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think that they're going bigger than this. Maybe we get Marvel Tokon characters and like a date on that. Maybe we get Wolverine gameplay and a date potentially. I think they were too far away on that. It's got to be something new. This fits the Valhalla formula of years past, too.
And they went absolutely bananas last year with Intergalactic showing that game. I think they take a step back this year, but they don't want to take too much of a step back. Bring out one of your most important, biggest IPs with God of War. It's not the next God of War game, like next mainline God of War game, but it's something in that franchise. Get people excited about it. I think this is a good place to show it off.
They can't put this prediction as the first one, or this can't be the first announcement.
Yeah,
they can't. Don't do that. Let it be the third or fourth one. Like when we ease into it, let us get like that moment of excitement. But then like, oh yeah, we're in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
Because if this kicks off the Game Awards, I'll actually be disappointed. I'll be like, oh, we're not getting the craziest Game Awards ever, sort of thing happening again. But if this is in there, I think that's in the middle of the show, and yeah, I think that that's like a very good lock because that's probably gonna happen. Connor. I said it's going to be a lock. I was curious if it was going to be your lock or my lock, but it needs to be said. My lock is that we will see Final Fantasy VII Remake at this award show. And I think it probably closes out the show or opens it. I think that Keighley's in his bag and he has the sauce. This is a Year of Dream type of announcement, but it's not like unheard of. Like we know it exists, right? And I think that the timeline that I'm expecting for this game coming out in early 2027, this is the moment. Lock it in. It's no longer a long shot, right? Like this is just a prediction that needs to happen. And I have another easy, good lock, but this is the one that I want to lock in. You know me, Connor. I got to do it. So my prediction, yes, is Final Fantasy VII
early 2027?
Yeah, I think. If I thought about making this a long shot and adding this caveat, I think that we get the way that they announced Crisis Core Reunion and FF7 Rebirth, and they said this winter and next winter. I think that they're going to say next winter at the end of the trailer.
Oh.
And I think that what that means they have until February of 2027. But yeah, I think that they're going to basically mic drop that this thing is when you see winter, when you see not a year, you're like, oh, like it's within the next year. And it is, but it's like a year and some change, really.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm going to lock that in. That's not part of the prediction. Lock it in. I like Keighley Claus has some things in his present sack. Okay. I had to add the word present there, but like it's necessary to go. I think that's a lock. And once again, we'll, as I always do, hop into the my other ones just in case I doubled up on you. But yeah, the remake, lock it in. We're getting it. Connor, what's your lengthy prediction?
My lengthy is that Dragon Quest XII is finally shown off again, with momentum behind them off the backs of the critical reception of both Dragon Quest III HD 2D last year and 1 and 2 this year, and Dragon Quest VII reimagined right around the corner. It seems that Square Enix is lining up the dominoes, raising interest in the franchise for the next mainline entry to have a big outing. It's finally time. They showed this game off with the title card reveal like 3 or 4 years ago at this point. We haven't heard a peep since. And like I said, with all of this, like they've just been generating interest in the franchise and consistently doing it at a high quality over the last few years. I imagine that 7 Reimagined will follow suit with the quality level that 1, 2, and 3 HD2D have. And I feel like Dragon Quest is becoming bigger than ever. And that's saying a lot because it's been around for a very, very long time. And you ride that wave showing off Dragon Quest 12 finally.
Yeah, I like it. This is another one that I think is, middle of the show. Like, this would be a big pop, but it wouldn't be like all-timer type of deal. Yeah, I'm all in on this prediction.
I also think you could do this and 7 part 3 in the same show.
Yeah, I don't think that Square is afraid to go in, show up and show out in a major way.
You don't
with
do
this.
Kingdom Hearts 4 as well, though.
My length is Kingdom Hearts. No. I hate when you don't say one of my predictions, because then I have to choose between the 2 that I wrote, and I like both mine.
Yeah.
My lengthy prediction is Nintendo makes its grand return to the Game Awards, but it's not with Nintendo IP. It is the Dustbloods getting a trailer in the middle of the showcase, and it is released before March 31st, 2026. I think it's a Q1 game next year. I really do. I think that we're all waiting for the other shoe to drop on what Nintendo has in their Duffy for the first half of next year. And I think it's the Dustbloods. I think that that's going to be a console mover, a console seller. You want another thing to stoke the fire when it comes to console sales post Pokemon. I think that a From Software game gets in a lot of that hardcore audience. And there's so many people at this point that are like, oh, shit, I got to buy a Switch 2 because I got to get that From Software juice. And I don't know if you know this, Connor. From Software has a pretty good relationship with one Jeff Keighley.
Yeah. What if it's the other game that they're working on?
I think that that's From Software is on the table. 100% on the table today. I think that there's a chance that I thought that there was a chance your Lock or Lengthy could have been a From Software prediction.
Right.
But yeah, I think that
I thought about it.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be Dustbloods. They're gonna this time we can take the deep breath, and they're just gonna they're only gonna have one game in motion right now. Maybe Summer Game Fest next year we get the next major From Software announcement. I think that also could be Game Awards 2026. But real quick, I want to bring the other Nintendo aspect of this. I think that this is the only Nintendo we see. I'm not in that Nintendo is going to be showing up to the Game Awards in a major way. If they do, I think they should.
Yeah.
I'm done with them not, but like, I don't know. I think that they need to go take the deep breath and say, hey, we'll play ball with Keighley in this fashion. This is because it's From Software. It's a M-rated game. They don't need to pump that on their own showcase. And then like, you don't need to market it that much more in directs. Like, I don't think that a Nintendo Direct audience is going to be like Dustbloods, Like, I think that a Nintendo Direct audience is like, give me the next Mario game, give me the next Zelda game. And so this is a great middle ground announcement. Get a Nintendo logo to pop up, like that's exciting. And then followed up with From Software, let everyone go and lose their shit, put a release date on this. And I think that the other aspect is, Q1. I think this game is coming out relatively soon. So, Connor, what's your long shot?
My long shot is fuck it. Dino Crisis remake. Make it happen. Capcom, they've been remaking all their horror games, well, Resident Evil games for the last decade now. Give Dino Crisis some love.
Wait, Dino Crisis remake or Dino Crisis 2?
Remake.
Okay,
Dino
good.
Crisis 2 already exists.
Okay, I was like, are we getting a sequel? What's happening here? No. I love this prediction because it's a definition of a long shot.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah,
I mean, they're working on Code Veronica and Resident Evil 0. Why not just throw in Dino Crisis into the mix?
You say they're working on it like that's all we don't just have to produce way more Monster Hunter content and Resident Evil 9 and Onimusha and Pragmata. Let's get a small
team working on Dino Crisis. They're bringing back all their old franchises right now, like with Onimusha coming back. Like,
I did just something just came to me of like, what if we got some Mega Man, dude? Like, come on. Like, I would love them to revive an old franchise like that. Dino Crisis, I think that ship has sailed. But
I know survival horror is bigger than ever right now, man.
That's a good point.
And these remakes have all done exceptionally well. Like, even Resident Evil 3 remake, like, well, it's not super critically well received. It sold well. It sold,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be basic guy in this one. Kingdom Hearts. I'm kidding. No, not Kingdom Hearts 4. Similar. My long shot is that we finally get Persona 6 revealed. I think it's the thing that closes out the show. And this is just the tier that we're in at this point of what the Game Awards are, where there's so many bangers that could happen. But I think that Persona is still one of the kings of that genre when it comes to turn-based JRPGs. It would be something that makes people lose their shit. Like, we're coming off of this major turn-based year with Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And I think that people want Persona 6 at this point more than ever. I think the thing that makes it a long shot compared to a lengthy or a lock is the fact that we are getting Persona 4 Revival, and maybe they want to get that game out before they reveal anything about Persona 6. It's time, though. Get us a color, get us some characters, get us the music. I think that it's not a crazy thing to be like, you have a minute trailer good to go to close out the Game Awards. And it would be exciting. That would be something that makes you, me, and even Brady, who doesn't care about Persona, be like, awesome. This is sick. This is super exciting. So Persona 6 is my long
I don't know,
shot.
man. I feel like it's probably pretty far off. And you have to imagine that they learned some lesson from Persona 5 and revealing it so fucking early. That was a PS3 exclusive. And they had like this image with like chairs and like a ball and chain like attached to them. And it had nothing to do with the actual game when it eventually did come out. And once they released that image and the fact that it was coming out, I think it took like 7 years from that initial reveal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they want to run that back.
I understand. And that's a big part of why it's a long shot, where it's like, I think that there's a lot more things going against it. But that's right now, I legitimately am like, anything's possible when it comes to Keeley. I want to run through my lock, lengthy, and long shot for the other ones that I had, just because I wrote them out and I don't want that work to go for nothing. My other lock, Leon Kennedy, will be revealed at the Game Awards in being Resident Evil.
I thought about this one.
Such a boring ass prediction.
Don't do it. Don't
Really?
do it. Please hide this and let it be a surprise for people to find in the game when it comes out. Like, it would be so fucking cool if the internet just like started popping off, being like, Leon's in this game, Leon's in this fucking game.
Yeah.
Let the word of mouth carry this game, do the marketing for you, man. Like, that shit would rule.
Or you just go on the biggest stage in gaming and with
And
150.
just spoil it, you know?
I know, but if I'm on that marketing team, I am begging them to let me say that Leon's in this game. Begging them.
I don't know.
It's too big of a name. Ultimate badass. My lengthy prediction, my other one, was Naughty Dog hits the stage. It's not Intergalactic. It's new IP.
I thought about this as well.
I mean, like, we're playing with the same pieces
Yeah.
right now, right? Like, I think that this is kind of not a lock by any means, but when we talk about, you said, like, the game cycle and where we know certain teams are doing, this feels like there's a shot that this can happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is also where it's like, yeah, there's going to be a lot more prediction stuff. Get ready. This is the tip of the iceberg, I feel like, when it comes to the amount of prediction content that we're going to be able to do with this, just because there's so many options between like major AAA teams and also the AA space of like, or a smaller AAA side and indies, where it's like there's so many things happening right now. Then like the fact that like we didn't mention like Corey Barlog's next new game is also ridiculous. You know, there's so many things happening. My last long shot is the long shot nature of this is the Shadow Drop. I think that there's a chance we get the Fallout 3 remastered Shadow dropped on Game Awards. Fallout,
like
the
that's
TV
too
show, is
soon.
coming out.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
And you just go for it. There's nothing better than when you were watching a video game showcase and you got something to play that day. And that is like the perfect thing. I like all-time classic. Everyone would be sold on it because they've already played it. Like,
it's also nothing to fucking play
in
mid-December.
Yeah, by that time, if you're a Metroid sicko, you're probably
done with it
at that point, right? Like, everyone else is just working through their backlog, hopefully putting more time into Hades 2, like I plan on doing. Like, yeah, I think that would be sick. That talk about dropping a bomb on the Game Awards. Get it? Fallout joke? Come on. That would be sick. I would be all about that. Connor, we got some names we got to read.
Thank you to all the Patreon supporters who support us at the highest tier. You get your name right at the end of each and every podcast. Members like Max,
Blake is a dog,
Brambino,
Cashar,
Chaboy Jake,
Squidalicious,
Jakey P,
PG,
Pigeon Power,
Library Daniel,
Tyler,
Sir Shellis,
Raincoat,
Ooh Gracie,
Chuzar,
MG Dunbar,
Mr. Munchies,
Farmer Spud,
Rocket Tater,
Nofi,
Proto Dan,
The Dankest, Mike,
Swampy Bits,
Jaxie T,
Tristan C,
Sconesy C,
Strachan 1978,
Das Goopy,
Dinkelberg Rules,
Cinchuro,
Hook'em Horns,
Go Nash,
Neutral Sphere,
Easton C,
Kingdom Hearts rules.
Stooby Dooby Dooba.
Crispy.
DJ Zach B.
Uli.
Jacob D.
Big Mac.
Metal Nate.
The Patty Cake.
Bear Pog.
Cowboy Jesus.
Mega.
Yogi.
Damn.
Holden M.
Colin C.
Brock.
Voodoo.
Milky Sins.
Alex the Golden.
Andrew H.
Master Days.
Cannon Fodder Games.
Only one Rufus.
Drifter X1. Skirt Skirt.
Goops.
JMAT B3.
Ali Benali.
Michael.
And Kingdom Hearts sucks.
Thank you for joining us on this episode. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.